Story script. Single dad saw mom and twins begging for food on Christmas Eve. The truth left him stunned. If you're watching this right now, stay till the end, because this story will remind you that miracles still happen when you least expect them. And if it touches your heart, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more stories that will warm your soul. It was Christmas Eve, the kind of night where streets shimmered with golden lights, families rushed home carrying gifts, and carols filled the air. But for Ethan, it was just another quiet evening. A single dad raising his little daughter, Mia, he'd learned to survive one day at a time. After losing his wife in a car accident 3 years ago, Christmas had never been the same. He still decorated the tree for Mia, wrapped a few small gifts, and smiled for her sake, but his heart was heavy with memories. That night, snow fell thick and slow, covering everything in silence. Ethan and Mia had just finished dinner, nothing fancy, just pasta and a few cookies. Mia, only 6 years old, ran to the window and gasped. "Daddy, look, there's someone outside." Ethan frowned and went to the window. Under the dim streetlight, he saw a woman huddled beside the grocery store across the street, clutching 2 small children close to her. The twins, no older than Mia, were shivering, their faces pale from the cold. Beside them was a cardboard sign that read, "Please help. We haven't eaten in 2 days." Ethan's chest tightened. Something inside him whispered that he couldn't just ignore this. But another voice, the one that had grown cautious after years of struggling, told him he couldn't afford to help anyone right now. He barely managed to pay rent that month. Mia tugged his sleeve softly. "Daddy, can we give them some food? Please." Her innocent eyes broke through the walls around his heart. Ethan sighed, grabbed his coat, and filled a small box with leftover pasta, a few cookies, and hot cocoa in a thermos. Together, they crossed the street, the snow crunching beneath their boots. When they approached, the woman looked up, startled. Her eyes were red, her clothes worn thin. "Ma'am," Ethan said gently, handing her the box. "It's not much, but maybe this can help a little tonight." Tears welled in her eyes as she accepted it with trembling hands. "Thank you, you don't know what this means." The twins eagerly reached for the cookies, smiling for the first time. Mia knelt beside them, sharing her mittens and laughing softly. Ethan watched the scene and felt a lump in his throat. Something about the woman's face seemed strangely familiar, the way she looked at her children, the faint scar near her left eyebrow. It tugged at a forgotten corner of his memory. "Have we met before?" he asked hesitantly. The woman froze, then shook her head quickly. "No, I don't think so." Her voice quivered slightly, and she looked away. Ethan wanted to ask more, but he didn't want to make her uncomfortable. He offered to drive them to a nearby shelter, but she declined. "We'll be okay. Thank you again." As he and Mia walked back home, Ethan couldn't shake the feeling that he knew her. That night, long after Mia fell asleep, he sat by the window, staring at the snow and wondering why the woman's eyes haunted him. The next morning, Christmas Day, Ethan woke up early to the sound of knocking. He opened the door to find a police officer standing there. "Sir, are you Ethan Walker?" "Yes," he replied nervously. The officer held up a wallet. "We found this near the grocery store last night. The woman you helped, she mentioned your name before she was taken to the hospital." Ethan's stomach dropped. "Hospital? What happened?" "She collapsed shortly after you left. Severe exhaustion and malnutrition. But she's stable now. She said she wanted to thank you, and that she owes you more than you can imagine." Ethan took the wallet with shaking hands and opened it. Inside was a photo, a man in military uniform, the woman from last night, and 2 newborn babies. His heart stopped. He did know her. She was Clara, his late wife's best friend from college, the one who had disappeared years ago after her husband died overseas. He rushed to the hospital, his mind spinning. When he entered her room, Clara looked up weakly and smiled. "Ethan, you remembered me." He sat beside her, speechless. She told him everything, how her husband had been killed during service, how she'd lost her home trying to pay medical bills for her sick twins, how she'd been too ashamed to reach out for help. She had nowhere else to go, so she wandered from town to town, trying to keep her children alive. Tears filled Ethan's eyes. "Clara, you should have called. I would have helped. We would have helped." She smiled faintly. "I didn't want to be a burden. But last night, when you came with your daughter, I realized there are still good people left in this world." Ethan sat there, holding her hand, his heart breaking and healing at the same time. By the end of the day, he arranged for Clara and her twins to stay with him and Mia until she could get back on her feet. Weeks passed. The house that once echoed with silence now overflowed with laughter. The twins and Mia became inseparable, decorating cookies, building forts, watching movies together. Clara found part-time work at a local bakery, and slowly, life began to bloom again. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the snowy hills, Clara turned to Ethan with tears in her eyes. "You saved us, Ethan. I don't know how to thank you." He smiled softly. "You don't have to. Sometimes, we don't get to choose who crosses our path, but maybe that's how miracles work." By the next Christmas, they weren't just friends, they were a family. The kind forged not by blood, but by kindness and second chances. And when they gathered around the tree, with the twins laughing and Mia singing carols, Ethan realized something beautiful: love always finds its way home, even through the coldest nights. So if this story touched your heart, remember this: a single act of compassion can change someone's entire world. Maybe even yours. Sparkling heart, if you believe kindness still matters, hit the like button, share this story with your friends, and subscribe for more real, heart-touching stories like this one. Because somewhere out there, someone is waiting for their miracle, and maybe, just maybe, that miracle could be you.